It is CVFM Radio. We are coming to you live from the borough. On the airways and also on Facebook and YouTube. Good evening, Martin. How are you this week?
I'm very well, thank you, Anne. Good evening. And I must say, your hair is looking fantastic this evening.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm tuning in with me mug. Keep glam and rock on.
Rock on.
Yeah, well, talking about hair, I gather that Inca's had quite a little bit of a haircut as well.
Yeah, thankfully, after months of no grooming, Inca has had a big trim yesterday, looking very slim. It's the only one in the household that actually looks sensible. The rest of us are just looking mad with hair growing everywhere. If you're looking on Facebook at the moment, you'll see just how mad this hair is going. Never mind the beard, you know.
Well, check this out. I've actually done this specially for you. I thought, you know something? I've always got my hair down on my shoulders. I thought, well, let's have it on the top above the headphones. And we've already...
It's looking great. And I bet Mark White, who's looking in at the moment, Mark, I'd love to know what your hair looks like, but you keep posting that old picture. Please put a new picture up showing all the hair. I mean, well, Mark's walking all over the place still. Every day walks miles. Amazing.
For you, Mark. Now, I tell you one thing. I think that's a photo that he had taken before the third lockdown. I think that was before we even had COVID-19. And I think he's up in Inverness or something.
I think it was in Inverness somewhere, looking out on the river or something.
Oh, and he goes, he's already come back and says he will. So good for you, Mark. We like to make a difference on this show. Now, talking about making a difference, we have some absolutely fabulous guests. We've got two sitting in the green room at the moment, waiting to come on the airways. So our first guest is going to be Jackie. Now, Martin, tell us a little bit. Well, we won't tell you anything about Jackie until we get her in. Who else have we got on, Martin?
Well, tonight we've got some great guests on. Amazing. We've got Jackie, who's from Middlesbrough Amateur Swimming Club. We've got Mark Hawken from a fantastic White Feathers project. And I know that our guest after that, Lee Garvey, the counsellor, is a big supporter of the White Feather project. And then we've got Heather from Youth Focus North East. So a great lineup tonight.
It really is a brilliant lineup. And I would like to wish you, Martin, happy Global Recycling Day.
Well, I'm pleased you remembered to wish me happy Global Recycling Day, because I've just filled up the Global Recycling bag this afternoon and it's overflowing. So I've done my bit for the day.
Well, what we're going to do is when Lee comes on, we're going to actually mention global recycling to him. But let's get our first guest on this evening. And we do have Lee Garvey sitting in the background as well. So I think we should just get our first guest on, Jackie Dixon-Daly. Good evening, Jackie.
Good evening to both of you.
And good evening, Jackie. Lovely to see you there, looking very pristine and ready. Are you having any problems with hairdressers at the moment?
Yes. My hair hasn't been cut since October 2019. I normally have a pixie cut. So that's
well, I think you look lovely anyway. I think you look great. So
thank you.
So let's Middlesbrough Amateur Swimming Club. I mean, there'll be a lot of our listeners listening in who have probably heard of a swimming club. I mean, you've been around for over 100 years, or near enough 100 years. So people will have heard about it. But tell us a little bit about what the club does. Where is it and what does it do?
Okay. So Middlesbrough Amateur Swimming Club, it's been on the go for about 125 years. It caters for swimmers, basically, from the ages of 7 and 8 all the way through to 78. We have lots of different squads of different capabilities. We do believe in teaching kids to swim at such a young age. We've got so much water around the place. It's a life skill, and that's something that Middlesbrough Swimming Club very much support.
That's very true. That's very true. I mean, probably one of the most important skills in your life. People don't appreciate that you can actually drown in a puddle.
Exactly.
And we've all been there. We've walked along riverbanks and muddy and slip. Anything can happen. So please. Get yourself out there and teach the kids to swim the moment we're able to do so. But you also produce top-class swimmers, don't you? Champions.
We do. Obviously, we nurture these kids from the academy stages all through different kind of squads. We do have a national squad. We have swimmers up to 18-year-old. Most people know Amy Wilmot. Amy Wilmot trained with Middlesbrough Swimming Club. But we have others as well, like Rachel Bradley. Rachel Bradley was an English national swimmer. She's just turned 17, so she's done phenomenally well. We've got quite a few really good national and international swimmers. A couple of years ago, we actually had somebody swimming from the Deaf Championships across at Lublin as well, and she did fantastic. So yeah, we try to nurture the talent we've got, but it really is a club that caters for all stages and all abilities, really.
So you've got a swimming club. I'm tempted to ask at this point, what have you been doing whilst you've not been able to get in the pool? I guess you haven't been able to swim.
No, we can't swim.
What do you do? Do you lie on the ground and pretend you're swimming?
Do you know you can do that with some elastic ropes that you tie to a fence post and you pull? So that kind of trains the upper body. But basically, we've been doing lots of what's called land training. So via Zoom, the coaches set up Zoom lessons and the kids are kind of exercising in the room, being led by the coach on some form like you've got here. We've been challenging them, sponsored cycle rides, walks, trying to keep them active, trying to keep the morale up in time for getting back into the pool. So we went back in September, but yeah, we're waiting for this new lockdown to finish and we'll get back in the pool hopefully in April.
So tell us what the big issue is at the moment, because I understand you're obviously desperate to get back in the pool, and you said there when you were talking something about sponsored activities. So I understand the club needs to raise some money. What's going on here?
Okay. So traditionally, a swimming club runs along the lines of you receive revenue. That's in two forms. It's by your subscriptions. So your members actually pay to become a member and have monthly charges. But also the biggest income stream for us is actually holding galas, which we tend to hold 4 times a year. That hasn't been about in the past year. So our revenue has been hit very badly. But we also have outgoings. We have coaches that we need to pay for. When we're in the pool, we have to pay for the pool time. We have 2 pools we operate from. One's the Neptune, one's the Rainbow Leisure Centre as well. So as much as we're kind of using our reserves, we have to look forward and go, well, how long is this going to go on for? How long before we can actually start competing again and bringing in the revenue? And we're thinking at the moment it's probably September before we can hold our first gala. So it's looking to see what money do we need to get us over basically the summer, I suppose, really. So that's why.
My understanding, you bid to Sport England, because obviously this is a national problem. But Sport England have risen to the challenge and they're going to make money available to you. You put in a bid for 10,000 and I think they're going to give you 5,000. But there's a condition attached, isn't there? They're not just going to give you 5,000. What do you have to do?
We have to raise 5,000 ourselves. And wow. If we don't, we're at the moment, I think we're standing at about nearly 8,500. But of the 8,500, that included in there is the 5,000 given by Sport England. So we've got to get this figure past 10,000 now. And if we don't, 2,500
more to raise.
We've got about 1,500 left to raise.
Right.
But if we don't do it, Sport England will pull the £5,000 they've donated to us back. So right. It really is kind of last chance saloon.
What's your deadline to getting it in?
I think it's the 28th of March. So I don't know what day that is. It's sometime next week.
We've got about a week and a half to get this.
We haven't got long. Yeah.
So tell me what are you doing to get that money in, and more importantly, how people, our listeners, can help you get that money.
Okay, so we've set the target of raising 10,000 and the medium we've used is actually crowdfunding. So there's a website, crowdfunder.co.uk. And if you look in there, we have a webpage registered as Middlesbrough Amateur Swimming Club, MASC, COVID Relief Fund. We've done a crowdfunding page and there's so many activities on there at the moment. The rewards that you can bid for, Pie Jacker vouchers, McDonald's vouchers.
I have to say, Jackie, I've looked on there earlier and I'm very tempted by the Magnum of Prosecco. There's a
put a bid in.
Did you know that, Anne? There's a Magnum of Prosecco. But you can put your money in, bid for these rewards. That's one way of doing it. What else are you up to?
So we have corporate sponsor packages as well for companies out there who want to have a little bit of promotion. So we have a bronze, silver and gold corporate sponsor package. But we've also got our coaches, our phenomenal coaches who are actually trying to run, walk or cycle their way from Aberdeen Aquatic Centre up obviously in Scotland all the way down to the London Aquatic Centre. I think they're somewhere around about York now. So they're doing it virtually. So you can sponsor them. I mean, that is really good. The amount of effort they're putting in is just unreal.
That
So
must
well played to the coaches.
That must be about 1,000 kilometres.
About that, I haven't worked it out. I just see the tired look on the faces when they keep logging the miles every day.
Anne and I know about this. We've done something similar.
Right.
Very tiring, but great effort. So you get on there, sponsor them. And I understand Olympic swimmer Chris Cook is doing something.
Yeah, Chris Cook. He's a great coach. He has his own swim school across in Darlington, and Chris has actually allowed us to put onto the crowdfunder webpage a mindset course. So this is actually teaching kids how to deal with the stresses in the pool, how to overcome fears, how to think clearly, how to think objectionally as well. So this is kind of one of the top-notch prizes for those who want to swim and want to compete. This is absolutely a really good thing to bid for.
I guess that actually, I was looking at it a bit earlier, and it probably transfers over to some other sports and activities about getting your mind into the mindset to actually be a winner. So you've got about 1,500 to go. So listeners, get in there, have a look on this crowdfunding page. I'm guessing Anne will have the link from our Facebook later. Got it. So people can get on there. As I say, the Magnum of Prosecco is very tempting, but there are a lot of other great prizes on there that you can get in and just sponsor these lads. Are the lads and lasses that are doing 1,000 kilometres?
The lads and lasses, yes.
Yeah. So help them. Take that extra step, that extra little kilometre that gets them there, because there's not much time left. And let's be fair. If this money gets pulled back by Sport England, it's a shame on our whole community. So, we've just got to, they've done marvellous so far. Help them get in there. Jackie, you're doing a fantastic job.
Thank you very much. I'm
hoping that in future we might be coming to visit you, but I understand that Anne's going to go in the pool. Is that right?
Are you coming?
Well, I don't, but I'm delighted to jump in the pool.
No. We're actually going to be coming from the pool because obviously there's lots more to talk about, isn't there, Jackie? When we are allowed to come out and see people.
I think there is. Looking forward to that one. That's going to be quite exciting too.
Well, we look forward to seeing you soon in person as well. And Martin has already got his swimming trunks, his budgie smugglers packed in his little bag. So we'll take care and good luck. And I'm going to mention we've put the link in to Facebook and YouTube so people can actually go and go into the crowdfunder as well for you, Jackie.
And just one final point, Jackie. I looked on your site earlier. And I have to say, your club captain, Ollie, did a great little video on there on behalf of the club. Really superb. Please, if you don't do anything else, everybody, just listen in and see a young man actually passionately shouting out for this club. So, good luck with you. I'm sure you'll get there.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
Bye. Well, there you go, Martin. You've got your swimming trunks ready, and you'll be off.
You're very deluded, Anne. You're very deluded. If you think I've got budgie smugglers, honestly.
I laughed when I said that. So, but everybody, the web address.
Anne, you obviously haven't seen the picture on one of my Facebook pages. I had the privilege of swimming in Victoria Baths, Manchester, a couple of years ago. The first time it had been open since about 1930 odd, and it's an Edwardian swimming bath. So you can guess how I was dressed.
Oh, but you can come dressed like that. We don't mind. We can have a history session. And there is, and I chatted to her a couple of years ago. There's a young lady in Middlesbrough who's actually swam the channel, and she's one of the few women in the country or in the world that's actually swam the channel. So Middlesbrough do have a lot of fabulous.
Further back, Jack Hatfield, Olympic swimmer. Middlesbrough's greatest success, came back from the Stockholm Olympics with 3 medals. Everybody knows Jack Hatfield Chop in Middlesbrough. It's an icon, but Jack Hatfield was a Middlesbrough swimmer, swam in the River Tees. So, that's what we need. We need your support, people. Keep this swimming club alive.
and we need your support before the 28th of March. So we actually only have 10 days left to actually raise the money. They need 10,000. They're going to have 5,000 of it match funded by Sport England, and they are looking just for another. I know we're saying just £1,500 is a lot of money. A lot of money. But the people in Middlesbrough are very generous people, and we know that because of the other guests that are coming on this evening. And sitting in the green room is our next guest, which is Mark Hawken from Martin. Introduce him, please.
Well, it is Mark Hawken from a fantastic White Feather project. Hello, Mark.
Hello, Martin. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. You're a little bit in the dark there. Have you put the lights off or something?
I've only got the lamp on at the moment. Do you want the light?
Oh, right, okay. But you were one of the founders of a fantastic White Feather project.
Yeah, there was my.
Hang on at me.
Hi, Anna. You're all right.
Hi, lovely. Mark, will you please go and switch your main light on? And the reason is that Martin is profoundly deaf, so I know he's going to struggle actually lip reading this evening. So that is
a lot better. Thank you, Mark. That's wonderful.
Thank you so much.
A lot better. Thank you very much indeed. Anyway, after that interruption, very kind interruption there. Thank you very much, Anne. Tell us a little bit about White Feather Project. How did it come about?
Well, what happened was under the first lockdown, Martin, myself and Alan Chapman and his girlfriend Rachel and a lady called Karen Beck were going round donating hot meals to pensioners. They started off with about 8 pensioners, finished up with about 130 something. By the end
that's brilliant.
So, obviously, Alan had to get more cooks in and more delivery drivers in, which he done. And we were going out and we were collecting, whoopsies, as you call them, from Morrison's and things like that to go along with the meals, the bread and the cakes and things like that for them. We're also, we were doing deliveries. Myself and Karen were going around doing deliveries for him. And then, obviously, Alan's bar opened, which is the White Feather Bistro, hence the White Feather.
Right now. So tell us where the White Feather Bistro is, for those of our listeners who do not know.
Well, the White Feather Bistro is actually at Norfolk Shops.
Okay.
That's where it is. It's right next door to the Jack and Jill. It's a lovely place. If anybody can get along there and see Alan, pop along and see him. But that's where the logo came from. And what happened was Alan went back to the bistro, and when Alan went back to the bistro, we said ourselves we couldn't let this go because there was that many people out there in need for various types of things, food. They just needed help, basically. A lot of vulnerable people out there needed help. So we went and had a chat with Father Pat from St. Alphonsus Church Hall, who was a well-known character in the town, as you know. Anyway,
I love the way you put that. I like the way you put that. A well-known character in the town. Yeah, that's one way of putting it. Yeah,
he is. Yes, he's a lovely guy. Anyway, we went and seen him, had a chat with him, and he gave us St. Alphonsus Church Hall, which wasn't being used at the time, and we made that into a community shop where people can come along and they can spend £5 on a basket full of food, and which helps them for the week. We also started doing care packs. Now, the care packs were to go out to the vulnerable, people in need, and also we helped the hospitals and things like that during the main part of COVID.
I've heard about by coincidence, I've heard about your fantastic baby bundles. Tell us a bit more about these baby bundles, because they have been a lifesaver, I know.
They have, yes. I mean, with our baby bundles, we have a dedicated team that work with that one. It's Lynn and Louise. And what happens with that is that if you're a new mum coming out of hospital and you've got nothing, as you know, a lot of the grants had stopped. So what we decided to do was put a pram together, a cot, Moses basket, nappies, baby milk, anything they needed for them coming out of hospital. So they had everything there ready for the new baby, along with a box of baby grows, all brand new, and all the baby items that they needed, soap, shampoos, things like that for them as well.
Absolutely amazing. And I mean, just to emphasize, I mean, people coming out of hospital with a newborn baby, and you've got nothing. You must be petrified because you've got this new life in your hand and you're going to be looking after it. I bet there's an awful lot of tears when you hand over these baby bundles.
Thing is, Martin, yeah, I mean, we have tears in our eyes, as a matter of fact, because some of them, like I say, are so overwhelmed with what they get from us, We like to make sure that the baby's looked after. And, we follow that on each week. We follow that on. If they need milk, they can come and get it. If they need any type of baby food, they can come and collect it from us.
Martin, and I just wanted to say as well there, Mark, is that it's the children, the babies need the best possible start that they can have in life, don't they?
Of course they do, yeah. I mean, when you think about it, it's as Martin said, it's a new life coming out into the community, and that's our future. So let's look after it, and
exactly.
make sure that they're loved and looked after all the way through.
I've just seen a post pop up on our Facebook page from Karen Beck. Now, is it right that Karen Beck is the mum of the project?
Karen Beck she is the mum of our project. The thing is with Karen was there from day one with myself and Alan and Rachel. And Karen has looked after all the volunteers. She makes sure everyone's happy, everyone has what they want. If they need anything, Karen runs the project. It's Karen who runs the project. She's the one who handles everything for us.
So tell us about a bit more. I mean, Karen had just popped up again saying we are the White Feather Project family. And I get this impression there's a group of people here who have family values and have come together as a family with a very wide family. You mentioned there you've gone from 8 to 130, 140 meals. How many people are you sort of helping at the moment?
Right, Martin, what happens is we now work alongside Middlesbrough Council with the help of Lee Garvey and Middlesbrough Council itself. Lee will probably tell you a little bit more about it, but we started off looking after, with care packs, just care packs alone, without the prams, without the pensioners. Care packs were going out to the vulnerable, the elderly, and people like that, people in need. We started off with 50. We're doing over 110 a week now.
And these numbers are mind-blowing.
Yeah. These range from family packs right the way through to a single-person pack.
Yeah. Well, Lee, I don't know whether Lee can join us. He's sitting in the screen there, I know.
Well, I think we've got a problem with one of the sounds. Okay.
I can hear something in the background. I think it's probably Lee because he's the one that's introduced it.
He's sounding a bit like Mickey Mouse.
He is.
He looks like Mickey Mouse every now and again as well.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say that, Mark. I'm so pleased you said that, not me.
I'm just removing Lee because I've asked him via a direct message, a private chat, has he got some headphones? Because I think when we start getting on multiple guests on, if one of them isn't wearing headphones, we do start having a problem. But I did just want to bring this up from Taylor. She said you've done 245 meals so far this week, haven't you? She thinks
245 care packs. Tally knows.
Care packs. Sorry.
Tally is the one who looks after our care packs coming from Middlesbrough Council. She forwards them on to us to go through our website, direct to Tally, and they come direct to us from Tally. So Tally will know more about how many we've done this week. So if we've done 245, we've done them.
Yeah, I'm just getting the impression about, there you are, Tally immediately says, it's 5,291 food parcels since June. These numbers are mind-blowing. When people say there are people in our community who are struggling and they need help, and as you say, Mark, you started off with 8 people, 8 meals, and now you're talking in the thousands, you're talking hundreds of care packs, you're talking baby bundles. There's a massive need out there, and the White Feather Project has risen to that challenge. It's absolutely fantastic. Is there anything that people can do to help you?
Yeah, well, I mean, just before we go into that, Martin, we had 647 Christmas hampers went out with over 2,000 presents to children as well.
Oh, my God. So it's not just the ongoing stuff. Like when it came to Christmas, you made sure that people could actually celebrate Christmas. They had a food hamper.
Yes, and we also look after every half term. We do children's meals. So anybody in the local area in Middlesbrough, anybody in Middlesbrough at all, no criteria, can come up, pick up a children's pack with a children's meal in it, and a little activity pack, and take that away.
Brilliant. So, how can people help you? Because I've heard a little rumour that Easter's on the horizon.
It is, yes. We are trying to give out to every child that we look after and every child in Middlesbrough an Easter egg. That is our ambition. That's what we want to do. That's what we'd like to do.
That's a great ambition. I like that.
And because I think myself, the kids have had a bad year, same as everybody else. Let's put a little smile on their face. If we can give them a couple of Easter eggs each, I think they'd be over the moon. And that's what we are trying to do. We're trying to give out as many Easter eggs as we can across Middlesbrough for the kids.
So, if people have got a spare Easter egg, if I can get you a spare Easter egg, how did they get it to you?
They can drop it off at Kings Road, number 2 Kings Road, next door to Boots. They can drop it off at the Trinity Centre, and they can drop it off at the TA Centre. So anywhere
three venues, they can get their eggs to you. Look, listen, listeners, if you're out shopping, you've got a spare plate in your basket. Somewhere near the tills, I know what supermarkets are like. They have all the eggs stacked up. Put your hand out, flip one up, put it in your basket, and get it down to these people, because some kid will have a smile on their face the moment they open and see that egg. So, fantastic. So, Mark, I think fantastic work you're doing. People have a look in on their Facebook pages and everything, because every day the stories that put a smile on your face. And
Martin, we're going to get Lee in after we've had a Mark on, because with both of them not wearing headphones, it's creating a background sound. But Lee has just asked me, ask Mark about the Parkway. Mark, tell us about the Parkway, please.
All right. Yes, we're going up to the Parkway Centre on Easter Saturday. If anybody from the members of the public want to pop along and see us, the team are going up there. And it's just, if you need any help with anything at all, if you need any help with food, anything like that, pop along and see the team. We'll take your name and address. We'll have a look, see what we can do for you. That's what we're about. We're there to help anybody. We are there for helping the community, whether it goes from Teesside Park to the Parkway. It doesn't matter. Anybody can pop and see us.
Oh, well,
we know you're working with the council on school meals as well. We've mentioned that. So, with the school meals, you provide meals outside of term time. Is that how it works?
What happens is every half term we provide free a meal pack for every child in Middlesbrough if they want it. It's there.
I've just seen it pop up here. That somebody called Michelle, and I would like somebody called Michelle. Michelle is doing the Total Warrior. Michelle Lord, she's doing the Total Warrior. What the heck is the Total Warrior to raise funds?
Total Warrior is it's like a, how do you put it? It's like a run, a climb. It's it's like a warrior event.
I've got it now. Michelle is a nutcase. Am I right?
She is, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You and I agreed.
She's one of our volunteers, Martin, and she's a total nutcase, but she's brilliant.
Brilliant. Well, good luck to her and fun to her, people.
And I also, because I've actually got in a private chat in the background, Lee Garvey, and he's actually just highlighted something that obviously the school meals during the holidays, but you've got a zero criteria, haven't you, for it?
There's no criteria whatsoever. You don't have to be on benefits. You don't have to be unemployed. If you're working, if you're not working, pop and see us. We'll help you anyway. Doesn't matter whether you're working or not. We don't have any criteria. The door's open for anybody.
That is fantastic, Mark, because one of the things that always makes people hesitate to come and ask for help because of a stigma issue. Listen, you've heard these guys, Mark, tonight. He's the most friendly, affable person you could imagine. Just go and have a chat with him. It's worth doing that. And if you're there, you go and have a chat with him. And if you're in the Parkway shopping, I'm guessing you can pick up your egg and drop it off to Mark at the same time. Hey.
There you go. But there'll be 11 volunteers up at the Parkway on Easter Saturday from mental health people that you can talk to who work with us. Some of our volunteers work alongside mental health. So you can talk, if you've got problems with your mental health, pop and see Gemma. Gemma will be there. You know, we have people from all walks of life that work with us, all volunteer with us.
Sounds wonderful. Keep up the good work.
Thank you very much, Martin. Thank you. Thank you, Anna.
Oh, thank you so much, Mark. And when we actually can come out and about, we want to come and visit you, please.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
We would love to have you across. It'd be fantastic to see you.
Yeah, because you're making a difference, and we want to make sure that it's just been brilliant because we've had so many of the family, and you know something, that it just keeps coming in, all these comments, all these positive comments. And Gary Hamilton, superb work. Mark and the team, Active Tees Valley, have a cheque for £500 from the Miles for Middlesbrough. How amazing
Absolutely.
is that?
Do you know what, Anna, right? Not a word of a lie. If it wasn't for the likes of Gary Hamilton, Teesside Family Foundation, cause with people like that, you know, they're the people that keep us alive. You know, they're the people and the members of the public out there keep us alive, and they keep our project going. It's absolutely amazing. Honestly, Teesside Help, the amount of people out on Teesside Help that keep offering us things is fantastic. You know,
Wonderful.
all these, we survive on donations, and the donations are absolutely amazing.
You know, I think what people are responding to is what you do is coming from the heart, and it's all about family and no criteria, helping people, and that is what people are responding to. And long may it continue.
Can I just say before I go, a fantastic thank you to Lee Garvey, Pat McBride, Tony Wedlake and his team from Teesside Family as well. You know, please thank them all on our behalf. They're absolutely amazing. Gary Hamilton, all of them. Andy Preston, Lee Garvey, you know, all the councillors, especially Ashley Waters. He's been absolutely amazing with us.
Well, we are going to be having Ashley Waters on. And I've also got Heather from the Youth Foundation. She's actually in the feed as well. Do you know her as well?
I know Heather. Yeah, I've seen Heather before. Hi, Heather. You're all right?
Oh, so did you know something? This is a family show. It's all about the community, and it's all about sharing good news. And huge thanks, Mark, for coming on. And we can't wait until lockdown 3's finished. We can get out and about, and we can come and visit you, please.
Brilliant.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Oh,
No problem.
pleasure.
Been a pleasure.
Right. Bye-bye.
Bye. What a lovely man.
Oh, he's great. He's great. He's a heart and soul of Middlesbrough, isn't he?
Oh gosh, and you know, it really is a family, and I think we need to get our next guest on, Councillor Lee Garvey. Unfortunately, listeners, we weren't able to get him on at the same time, because of the sound problems that
It's technology, listeners. It's technology. That's what it's all about.
If we haven't got headphones on, we're getting a lot of background sound. So I apologise. So we're going to get him into the feed. Good evening, Lee. Oh.
I'm sure you play Mickey Mouse.
Don't. Lee, we're all laughing here. Lee, I want you to go out, come back in, and click on your microphone. Do you know something? Somebody did say he sounded like Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, well, actually, no, it's not Mickey Mouse. It's Donald Duck. Donald Duck's the one who goes quack, 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 like that. You do realise, Anne, that there are listeners of a certain age that have no idea who Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse were, because they've been overtaken by all the people. I have no idea who they are now, honestly.
Well, we're
getting advice now from Tally Norfolk here.
I love Tally. I think we should get Tally on the show because she's brilliant. And
if you looked anything like that picture that she put up, yeah, you can have her on the tour.
So while we're waiting for well, he's back. Come on, Lee. Are you there?
Yeah. Oh, that's better.
the panic there, because I obviously with having my I've got my Windows Live Mail, so being on the council, I barely go to this now because it's all council emails. So this just stops. It's like a windy up email. So when I had to go back on this, I thought, I'm never going to find the link. But I've got it now. So
one of the things I saw on your Facebook page, Lee, I saw you actually had a day where you switched your phone off and spent time with the family. And that struck me, especially somebody like you who must get thousands of emails and things, council business. How did you manage to survive a day without a phone?
Do you know what? Even sometimes when you don't realise just what you use your phone for, it's not just for communication purposes.
Yeah.
So every now and again you think, calendar. So you go to turn the phone up, look at your calendar, and as the calendar's coming up, it'll go ring, ring. And if someone comes up and you feel so. If it's someone you know, you have to answer. You have to answer.
Can I just say you've got your fan club on already? You need a haircut.
The thing is, Mark couldn't see the comments I was making in the background earlier.
Mark has just posted, for those who are listening in and can't see, our last guest, Mark, has suggested that Lee needs a haircut. Now, I can tell you, looking at Lee, he doesn't need a haircut. Not when you've got me to contend with. We've got hair going everywhere at the moment. Mark, behave yourself.
Can I just say that Lee did say when we asked Mark to turn the lights on, Lee did say in the background that you really don't want to do that.
In that case, I'm now going to defend Mark. That was very naughty of you, Lee. And I absolutely needed that light turning on. And Mark was a fantastic gentleman for doing so. And I've recovered from a shock.
He was. All I did was just indicate the fact that the light being off was, a good thing for Mark.
Yeah, I understand that. You see, all it tells me is that there's a family going on here that can take this sort of, without trying to do this. If Mark was Piers Morgan, he would have walked out of the studio. But that didn't happen because you all respect each other, you trust each other, you make these sort of remarks like any family does. And, how did you come to discover the White Feather Project?
The social media at first with the meals when they were getting the meals to the elderly and the vulnerable. I was following it on social media. I thought it was absolutely amazing. And I sort of like as a resident, I was helping out where I could and like sort of sharing posts and getting asking people when they work for donations and that sort of thing. And then obviously when it all took off and conversations needed to be had between the White Feather and the council, that was my opportunity then to help in a way. I'm not particularly well off, I'm no millionaire, but this was an opportunity to help out, which I took straight away, because what these guys are doing is absolutely it's unbelievable, really, when you think about the time they put in. And Mark himself has helped me out. He's actually helped me out without me asking. Yeah. And that's the sort of thing we've done.
What that actually illustrates for me, Lee, is the value of councillors in your community. Because there you have a project with people doing a fantastic job. It starts running away from them. Let's be honest, it was getting so big, and I bet they were having kittens because they could see the need there and they couldn't do it. They couldn't get there. You step in and you bring the power of the council. You get people organised and link them up, so they're still able to get on and deliver. But you've now got the council backing with them, and that. A testament to you as a councillor. I think it's fantastic. Well done.
Well, it wasn't something that I was new to this position, and at the time I'd been in less than a year, I think. Yeah. So everything I was doing was a learning curve for me and my colleague Donna as well. We do everything we do together, and it was all a learning curve to see who you need to contact, who you need to speak to, who does what within the council, and finding. I spent a lot of time talking in the background with Talia, who does the White Feather's social media, and she's brilliant at it. And the communication, it was effortless. But it's all a learning curve for all of us. We're now in a position now where, if you go back 20, 25 years ago, people were sat with spare, you know, if they had any spare income, you'd have all these on the telly asking you to, you know, to help the cheetahs, the polar bears, and people were donating to that. But we find ourselves now where local people need help.
Local, isn't it? The problems are local, and it's local people helping out.
Yeah, and the local people haven't let anybody down. They've not let anyone down. It's the same with the swimming club. That money will probably, now that they've been on here, that money will probably be made by the end of the week. You know what I mean?
Really hope so, but let's not put anybody off. Think about it. They've got to reach that target. They really, really, really have to get it. So when this program finishes, not before, when this program finishes, you know, get on their site and support it. But how have you been doing, Lee? Because last time we chatted, I know that you were a freelance photographer, and obviously all that just dried up with lockdown. Are you starting to plan and look ahead now?
We've got the day the decision was made. The date was let out. We had 2 cancellations and 2 people paying full. So you remember the bread song, "Catch the penny, miss the pound." It felt a little bit like that. But since that day, you know, things are starting to there's bookings going in. People are paying deposits now. They're not scared to go for next year or the year after. And it was really, you know, you could see that people were really just put off the whole idea of organising a wedding, even for next year or the year after, because of the bad taste last year and this year's left. But I think that's it was starting to defrost now. I think the wedding industry is starting to defrost a little bit now.
I thought there was some confusion on the news this morning over weddings were able to go ahead, but some of the venues couldn't deliver the weddings because they weren't allowed to be open. As a photographer trying to get dates sorted out with couples, have you run into any of that?
I haven't. We've not run into difficulties like we did before. A lot of the weddings that we've got booked in now are quite straightforward and have been pre-booked. I've got one wedding booked where the bride she's just said, "Look, I just want to get married," so she's keeping within the realms of the smaller numbers, but she just wants to get married because she's waited 2 years.
I'm glad you said that, because just for a second I thought you were going to say to me the bride had decided not to do anything with the groom. I thought, oh God, this could be the worst outcome, you know.
Oh, believe me, the bride in question, she knows exactly what she's going to be doing with the groom.
Oh, lovely, super. Good luck to the groom.
Yeah, I mean, marriage-wise, that wasn't meant to be anything. Yeah, I mean, she's in charge.
Good. Listen, Lee, and you must know this from wedding photography: the bride is always in charge.
Always.
Absolutely. So, how have you been coping at home? You've got 2 daughters, have you?
Yeah.
Are they back in school, lad?
Elizabeth spent a few days back at school. She was at Trinity and she was sent home because of COVID. So that didn't last very long. And Alex she has been back at school, but she's poorly. She's been a bit poorly over the last couple of days. So we kept her off today. But she's going back tomorrow. She's going back tomorrow.
That was said with some right. Okay, so Lee has said that whatever happens, she's going back to school tomorrow. He's dropping her at the gate, he's dumping her, and he's had enough. No.
I can imagine.
I hope she's okay and feeling better.
Yeah, I can imagine that she'll be so glad to go back to school, because for everybody, it's been really, really tough. Lockdown number 3. And, they will have missed that company with their friends, wouldn't they?
Yeah. You can tell, I know my daughter as well, and I can tell when they're missing something or there's something not quite right. And even just going back to school and talking to the friends is something that, the first day back, they both came in and they went to bed, they went to sleep. Yeah. They were asleep all night. They were absolutely exhausted because of the social interaction. And even, it's even something I'm missing. You're talking to colleagues and other councillors and the council, and that walking around the town hall and being able to interact with people, even if even if you're political, sort of, you're not particularly political allies, still talking to somebody, the body language, looking somebody in the eye. It's all that's the whole human experience, and we're all being missing that.
And obviously, you're missing the Carriageway Cafe in the town hall. Well, if you're not, I am.
Yeah, I'm quite fond of the cherry and coconut scones.
Oh, you and I both. We fight over that one next time.
Me and Councillor Dodds, that's all we ever get. We go in there just for the cherry and coconut scones.
Quite right and all. So, what plans have you got in that couple of weeks? What's going on?
We've stepped up our efforts, both myself and Councillor Jones. We wanted to get the Black Path, the Ormsby Beck. We're looking to get that resurfaced. We know it's a big one, and we know it's going to be it's going to be a task and a half. But it's something we feel we have to go after. We know there's not much money in the pot. We know that, but we really do. It's something I think we have to press for. We've managed to get rid of the canopy over the near the Neptune, which has opened up, and it looks a million times better. Yeah. We've got hopefully, if everything goes right with that, we're looking at getting some, maybe at Christmas time, getting some stalls in there, Christmas tree, maybe a Christmas fair.
That sounds wonderful.
Branch it out to Norfolk shops as well. Bring them in, make it an area, a shopping area, a precinct even.
I'm looking forward to that already, Lee. So that better happen.
If it doesn't, when Donna starts something, Donna finishes something. Believe me, she's there. She's the focus of our little team.
Okay, well, I am going to love you and leave you guys, because we have a chap called Butch on who wants to come on from America. So Lee, and he's obviously been upset because nobody's got in touch with him whilst this has been going live. So Lee, can I just take you out the stream and then bring you back in a moment, if that's okay with you? Yeah. All right then, my love. So let's get Butch in. We're going to find out whereabouts in America he's from. Okay, so hello, Butch. How are you?
Hello, is it me?
Yeah, we've got you on the airways. See, we were listening to you. Unfortunately, we're actually doing the show this week from home. So the 01642 number, it isn't actually picking up. So luckily, one of our colleagues has actually picked that up. So tell us a little bit, Butch, whereabouts are you, please?
I was in Genesee, Idaho, in America, United States, and I was actually on a program called Not Even a Show. And
oh, where's he gone? Talk to me.
Your voice is gone.
In place of Murky, if you guys could say, "Let's start the show," then I do a cold open, and I get and then Butch episode kick off. You guys all say, "Let's start the show," and because Murky let me do it.
Okay, so tell me, you've actually got a show about to go live in Idaho. What time is it in Idaho this evening or today?
I don't know. My clock is broken, but I just need you to say, "Let's start the show."
So what is the show about then, Butch?
It's not even a show, though. It's not even a show. That's I was supposed to say that. It's not even a show. But
okay.
But Murky normally does it, and Murky is got a big streak because it's a special Butch episode. They have me doing a cold open.
And can I tell you, is it because of our English accents that we sound so good? That's why you want us to open your show?
Yeah, I love English accent. He said, "Let's start the show."
Okay, well, I'll do it, Martin.
Oh, we can do it. We
can't do it together, Martin, because if we do, it'll affect him. So I'll do it, and then we'll get you to do it, and then we'll get our Councillor Lee Garvey back in. Apologies, Lee Garvey, for this.
Yeah.
So here we go from the UK. Let's start the show.
Oh yes,
and let's start the show properly from the UK. We are great. We are linking with you in US
today. This is the greatest day of my life. The greatest day of my life.
I am so pleased that he's gone. I am so pleased here on CVFM Radio. We keep the community happy, not only in Middlesbrough, but we're going out to Idaho in America. So let's just go and get our guest back on, Lee Garvey. Now we've kept America happy. We like to keep the peace. Good evening, Lee. Lee. And how are you this evening?
I thought I was in the Twilight Zone for a second there.
I'm not sure it wasn't Lee. I'm still worried about it.
You could feel the realization coming over Anne there that she could be introducing anything.
I was wondering,
what is the show? What is the show? It's not a show. What is the show?
what channel are we on? What time of night or early morning is this?
Well, do you know something? Okay, he's in Port Clarence, but putting the American accent on. So there you go. Obviously, I think Dean Moore has had something to do with this. So, and if you have, Dean Moore, I'll be coming and having a chat with you because it is an April Fool's Day yet, and we do have a line for that, you know. So,
and I would always point out to Dean, revenge is a dish best served cold.
He's banned. He's banned.
I should have known. I should have known it was Dean. I just should have known.
Well, do you know something? I love Taylor, who has said, because I did say she should come on the show, and she did say she'd talk too much, but you know, we've got Martin, so she wouldn't get a word.
We can have a contest. We can have a contest to see who talks the most. We might get the Guinness World Record.
Yeah. So
I've been on the phone to Tally, and believe my phone has a 2-hour limit, and we've gone over it twice.
I think people have now joined in the American chap who did look a bit strange. Nothing again. I'm sorry.
Now, if I said that about one of our female guests, there'd be a problem.
Well, you know, but even Marcus said he's live from the top of the transporter. So, but anyway, Lee, I actually have some notes this evening.
I'm so pleased that I haven't got notes. You see, people seem to think, Lee, that we just do this on the fly-by seat of our pants. In my case, it's true. But Anne assured me that 1 second before the show started, she had notes. So, Lee, ask Anne what is on her notes.
And what's on your note?
Well, can I just say that the COVID Winter Grant Easter payments from today until the 23rd of March. So you're going to be issuing Easter payments for the Easter breaks. Are you? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
The actual
Oh, this is brilliant.
The grant start.
I can't tell you this, Lee, but I think Anne caught you out now.
I think she has. I share. See, anything that people need to know, I share. But I will say that the winter grants that were issued. So I looked into it, and I thought, right, I need to know how easy these are to get.
Yeah.
And I looked in, and because of the situation we found ourselves in, we actually, we could apply. So I thought, let's do this. Let's go through the process and just see how easy it was. And I've got to say, it couldn't have been easier. It couldn't have been easier from start. So where there are grants to be had, then it's up to us, because I don't think any council, Middlesbrough Council, has never been in the position to get information out as it can now. Yeah. And especially through the likes of the mayor, deputy mayor, the councillors who are social media savvy, and even those that aren't on the social media. The information is out. It's gotten out. It's gotten out in the right ways. So anything that you share can be shared by the people who are on your Facebook, on their Facebook. But it's getting that information out there. Now, them latest grants, I think I shared the information, but I haven't yet looked into just how easy they are. So I haven't done my due diligence on them yet. So
well, can I just say?
I just think that's a great endorsement. A lot of people are put off by negative stories about the grant. Lee went out there with, for his business, and he tried the protest. He tells us exceptionally easy. So if you're thinking about it, when his grant come up, go for it.
And also, Amy's just come on, and we've got a little Amy Louise Porter's just put a little angry face on. Oh, obviously she might be struggling with getting the grants, or so she knows somebody who is not happy about it. But the grant scheme will close on March the 31st. If you go on to Middlesbrough Council's Facebook page, all this information is sitting on there. And Lee, last time you came on, obviously it is Happy Global Recycling Day. Just tell us a little bit of what's happening with litter, etc., and in your area.
Yeah, we've I think I mentioned this last time I was on. Both myself and Donna are repeatedly reporting fly tipping, and it seems to be that we've become sort of we've made a rod for our own backs, because the more we report, the more there seems to be appearing in this ward particularly. So there's definitely a problem with fly tipping, and I think that the main thing about it is I firmly believe that it's the council's responsibility to collect rubbish and waste. That I've always said that. I've said that when I was getting in, I'll say it now. But there has to be a responsibility of people not to fly tip, and it's not just because you're getting rid of your waste because the council won't come straight away and get it. The fact is that when you fly tip, you're destroying the area for everybody else. You're making the area look a tip, and the more people fly tip, the more other people fly tip. It leads on. It's like a domino effect. Yeah. So to keep our areas clean, to keep it as nice as it possibly can be, we've got to literally jump on the wagon. The bandwagon of saying, please stop the fly tip, and it's got to stop, because it's absolutely horrible. So,
and I know, Lee, that I've seen some of the Facebook postings on it, and people, how can I put it? People are claiming to be confused about the opening of the recycling centre. Now, I understand that in Middlesbrough you can still book slots at the recycling centre, but maybe there's some confusion. Do you have to go through the council site to do the booking?
You've got to go through the My Middlesbrough or the Middlesbrough Council's page to do it. Now, a lot of people are just going straight to the main site, which is a Stockton site, because it's in Stockton. So you've got to go through the Middlesbrough Council page, and that's important, because then that allows them to know where you're coming from and where So once you do that, everything can be booked in. But if you go directly to the tip site, you're going to get turned away, and you're going to get told you're ineligible.
And I think what people need to realise is the facility is open. You have to book your slot, because let's face it, you have to keep safe at the site. We're still keeping people socially distanced there. But if you book your slot for Middlesbrough, you can get that rubbish there. It does not have to be on the street or anywhere else.
Yeah, and that's important as well, because I think one of the main things about collecting rubbish is that the council certainly do not want to be collecting rubbish left by businesses. So if there are any businesses that are dumping rubbish, then that's just a no-no, and those businesses will be caught, and they will be punished. But at the end of the day, when it comes to collecting rubbish, the council will collect your rubbish. The free service takes a little bit longer. It does take a little bit longer, and there's a paid service the service that is almost. I think it's about a week you end up waiting. So we have the two side by side. But what I will say is, I know the free service does take quite a while, but please wait that little bit extra. But don't be putting it on the streets. Don't be putting it on the fields, because it only lends for more people to do that, and the area becomes more and more and more of a mess. And it's just, this is where your kids play. This is where you take your dogs for a walk. We have to take some responsibility.
Exactly. Well said. Well said. So, Anne, where are we now? Because I'm vague. Lee was a bit confused earlier. I'm really confused now.
Well, we've got Lee back, because we wanted Lee back. He's one of our favourite councillors.
Yeah.
What we're going to do, Lee, we look forward to seeing you again soon. Huge thank you, as always, for coming on the show. And we've got Heather sitting in the background.
Can I just say before she comes on?
Yeah.
Heather and You Focus Northeast, never fail to leave me absolutely just gobsmacked with the work they do. And I know a lot of people say this about any initiatives and that sort of, this is in my area, they're dead good, they're really. But every time I go to one of their events or one of the nights they put on, it's never the same thing. It's always something different, and it's always something engaging to the point where you actually want to know what's going on. And Heather is just, she's absolutely amazing. Absolute pleasure to know her.
She can't hear any of this, Lee. She clearly can't hear a single word that you're saying to her. That's why she's gone deeply red, and she's covering her face, and now she's turning away from the screen. So it's completely wasted, Lee. I don't know why you praised her so much.
Just carry on doing what you're doing, guys, because you're absolutely amazing. And when you see you're in one of these, you're in an environment and the young people are there, and you can see them engaged, you can see them actually interested in what they're doing. And you watch Heather and you watch the other guys, and you're seeing how they're doing it. How are they keeping the young people so engaged? And it's brilliant. It's brilliant to watch. Get yourselves down there one day, because it is brilliant to watch.
Oh, we'll be down there. Anyway, bye, Lee.
Goodbye,
Bye.
Lee. Thank you.
See you later, guys.
Thank you, my love. Oh,
hello, Heather. Who are you?
Oh,
we don't know anything about you. Tell us.
No. You've had my colleague on your show a couple of weeks ago, Emma. So yeah, I'm Heather. I'm programs manager here at Youth Focus North East. So I run. I manage a lot of the open access provision that we've got going on in the East Middlesbrough area. So for those who don't know, basically open access just means that like youth provisions, whether that be indoors or outdoors, online, face-to-face, we deliver a lot of sessions in the Thormsby Pallister Park and Park End area of Middlesbrough.
So when you say you're delivering sessions and you're getting out to people, give us an idea. Because I saw something about on your Facebook page or something about delivering packs to people on something about a stay-at-home Friday night. And I wondered whether I was young enough to qualify.
You're always young enough to qualify for definitely.
I like Heather.
No, so basically what we do over the COVID period, every organisation's had to take a massive change to make sure that the people that they usually would support still have that support going for them. So what we do is our teams are out on detached, out in the communities every night of the week in different areas. So we do have a session Monday to Friday, but we also deliver activity packs out. So everything that they would usually have in a youth work setting, they basically get to the doorstep. So it's literally like the youth club to your doorstep, and then they can join us online for a session with the staff, and they'll do all the activities basically that they would have done face to face with us. So yeah, it's just trying to keep them engaged, keep them motivated, and also just to make sure that they're okay, really. I think as youth workers, it's so hard for us to go through this period as much as it is everyone else, because we're so used to having youth clubs 60 to 80 kids on a night, so to go from that to just seeing them on the doorstep, I think it just makes sure that the families know that we're still there and we're still here to support them, and hopefully it won't be too long till we're back with them.
And that's really, really important, isn't it? I think when your colleague was on a couple of weeks ago, I mentioned I didn't actually understand what you were doing at first. And then when you got into it, I realised that here we go, 40 years ago, my father was running a youth club. And you know what's important, what you just said? People used to come up with their issues outside of a youth club setting because he cared about them and they cared about him. What you're saying is you turn up on a doorstep with your pack, just having that face there must be absolutely wonderful for these things. So tell me, what sort of activities do you then get up to? Because in my head, I can picture the activities in a physical youth club, which is, table tennis, football, sort of things, What do you actually do activities online? Because I can't imagine playing table tennis online.
No, so what we're doing at the moment is, so tonight there's a session online tonight for the young people of Northalmsby. So they're doing a lot around, so that I think they're making bath bombs this evening. They're doing some science experiments from home, and the staff are doing it as well. So the staff are having just as much fun and probably making just as much mess as the young people are. So they do activities like that. Last Friday we had a girls' night, so it was just girls. Having a bit of a pamper, having a bit of a chat about stuff that's going on for them at school, how they're finding COVID and being in lockdown, what impact that's having on the mental health, looking at ways we can support one another as friends and peers to get through these times together. And the lads had a similar night, so it was just all lads having a good old laugh, playing a bit of some games online with the staff, and it was really lovely. So it massively ranges. It can go from some sport activities that they can do on their own, but with the staff. So we've had some fitness sessions going on, and we've done arts and crafts based stuff. We do a lot of work around different things that are issues for them going on right now. So mental health is massively affecting a lot of people right now, but young people are being massively affected by all these changes that are going on. So yeah, we're doing a lot around that, a lot around keeping yourself safe, and also what it's looking out for signs to support others as well. What the impact social media has, not only on them but on other people, and just getting them to look after the community. So we're always really keen on giving back to the community. So we run a lot of social action projects where young people like design and deliver their ideas. So just before Christmas, there was a group of young people who wanted to give back to some families in the East Middlesbrough area. So they made up 30 Christmas dinners, and we went and handed them out to 30 families just before Christmas. There's some stuff happening now, so they're planning to do up some garden spaces. I'm sure we'll be linking in with Lee and Donna for some ideas that they've got going on as well, and get the young people involved. It's just all about bringing the communities together, the generations together. I think a lot of stick can be put onto young people, and it's just for people to realise, nobody's denying stuff does happen in the community, but it's a small percentage, and I think a lot of young people do get the stick for a small amount, for what a small amount of people do.
It's that mutual understanding, isn't it? You talk about bringing generations together, but young people equally. Oh, older people have messed it up, but do this, and yet when you put people together, people actually understand each other, and they go, oh yeah, and I'm getting interested. I mean, I was interested what you were saying about project to do gardens up and things like that, because there must be an awful lot of older people who are struggling right now. There's one older person who's really struggling, and she's now back in the feed. Hello, Anne.
Hi, I just want to pass some of these messages on.
Oh,
because
these messages are amazing.
Because this is being recorded and it's going out on CVFM Radio live. And, this feed is filling up with lovely comments for Youth Focus Northeast. Gary Hamilton, one of the main reasons East Middlesbrough is moving in the right direction, from Kev Franks, the director, to Heather and all the team. Truly grateful for the work they do. Lee Garvey, Heather and the Youth Focus Northeast gang have filled a very important void left by years of cuts to youth provisions. Helen Kennedy, I thought this was really, really important. Everything that is delivered has purpose, and that is a strong message. And again, yeah, and she's also said Heather is amazing and her leadership is second to none, a true advocate of high quality youth work. Community is not just about belonging somewhere, it's about doing something together that matters, that makes belonging matter. And again, Kevin Franks, he's come on and said we couldn't do it without the support of partners and the community. And these
that's
are
the thing, isn't it, Anne? It's about people coming together. It's not, everybody's saying great things, thoroughly deserved by Youth Focus Northeast. But what makes it different from what I can see is they work with people. They work with people throughout the community. So Heather, what have you got lined up over the next few weeks? Is it more of a same, or is it anything changing because of the lifting of restrictions?
Yeah, so thankfully, obviously with Boris's roadmap now giving us a bit of direction moving forward, fingers crossed. So we obviously follow a guidance that is set up by the National Youth Agency. So our guidance is slightly different. Purposely for the work we do. So by the end of this month, we hopefully will be doing some face-to-face work with some young people, getting them out in the fresh air, getting them doing some sports, getting them doing some stuff for the local area. So all the staff are so excited for that. They just can't wait just to see some people's faces instead of it being virtually like this. So we're going to be doing that. We've got a massive push for Easter coming up. So we're at the moment, there's been a group of young people who we've been working with constantly over lockdown, and they just massively want to support other young people through these tough times. And they've said that they've spoke to some of the friends and they know that they're not going to get Easter eggs this year and stuff like that. Just something so simple. So we're currently working with different organisations, community groups, and the young people are working behind the scenes just to hopefully get some Easter eggs so we can go out and deliver them to the families and also the siblings of some of them families as well. So it's just about passing on them little acts of kindness. I think those small acts of kindness go a massive way, and especially in these times for people to know that actually there's someone thinking of them, and that it's actually a young person. So it's young people who are thinking of others, and it's what you were saying, bringing them, it's about belonging. And I think if a young person feels like they belong to a community, the things that we can do for the community is huge, it's massive. And I think once other people see young people being passionate about the area, they do care. They want to grow up here, they want to live here, they want to have their families here. And I think once other people start to see that, I think it's just going to bring so much positivity and so much intergenerational work that can go on for years to come, really.
Fantastic. Sorry, I'm just listening to you, Heather. I can see why people are saying what they are saying. You are such a passionate advocate for young people, for the community, for helping each other. It makes my heart sing just sitting here. So I know why, all those comments are coming in. Thoroughly deserved.
Can I just ask Heather, where do people drop these Easter eggs off? Because I know a couple of people have already asked me, where do you drop the Easter eggs off to? So I'm just going to put it back in the feed.
Yeah, absolutely. So if anyone wants to donate any Easter eggs, our office is based at the Pallister Park Centre, which is just off Ormsby Road. So it's open Monday to Friday, 9 till 5, and someone is always about. So if anyone wants to donate any Easter eggs, please feel free to pop down, and we'd be massively grateful. And I know the young people behind this would be hugely grateful as well.
And what's your cut-off date?
So our cut-off day is the 26th of, I was just looking at my calendar there, the 26th, because obviously Easter starts the week of the 29th, I believe, this year, for schools to break up. We're wanting to get everything together so that on the second week of Easter, that we can then go out in mass with some fancy dress on and some other bits and bobs and go and deliver them to the houses. See a few smiles on a few people's faces. It'd be lovely.
Excellent.
Well, I've just actually added the into CVFM Radio Facebook, YouTube channel as well, that the Pallister Park Youth Focus Northeast, Pallister Park Centre Youth Focus Northeast - Easter egg appeal - can they have them before the 26th of March? Is that okay?
Thank you. Yeah, that's great. Absolutely amazing. And
somebody's already asked.
Yes.
Can't wait to see Kev dressed up.
Yes, I'm sure Kev's our CEO, so I'm sure I will be dragging him into something to get dressed up.
I think a duck outfit appealed to me.
Definitely. I agree.
I think we're all in agreement, Kev. Kev, we know you're listening to the show, so you can't escape. It's by common consensus, you have to dress up as a duck.
Oh, he's going to go crackers.
Definitely, he definitely is. I'm sure he'll be up for it, though.
Well, he's already replied and said, I think he'll do it if you go and dress up as a chicken as well. Chick.
I'm always up for it.
Oh gosh, I'm already starting with the chicken puns already. So don't get me started. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly.
Heather, exactly. Yeah. Come on then, chick. Anyway, that's what they say down in Stoke, by the way. They call people chick as well as duck.
Duck.
Okay, and they do
I
say
know you
chick
call
as
each
well.
other duck. You tried coming there.
I know. So, but
I have to explain, Heather, that I'm the foreigner who comes from Stoke, and everybody in Stoke apparently called each other duck.
Duck. So, but Heather, I just want to thank you for coming on this evening. We would love to come out and see you in the community and everybody else at Youth Focus North East, because you have really warmed our hearts this evening with everything you're doing. And you are an inspirational young lady. You'd agree with that, wouldn't you, Martin?
Yeah, absolutely clear. But one of the most inspirational ladies I've seen for a while. Superb. Absolutely fantastic. Keep up the good work. Wonderful. We'll be out there to see you. No problem.
Definitely, please do. Any of our community events, more than welcome to come down, and I'm sure the young people would love to talk to you as well. Definitely.
Well, before you go, Kev has actually put a little chicken photo up into the feed, so he's well up for that, I can see.
Yeah. Fabulous. I'll get his suit ordered now.
Well, goodbye, my lovely, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you. See you later. Bye.
Bye. Martin, what an inspirational young lady.
Unbelievable, that lady is.
Really impressed.
I'm blown away, to be honest.
Yeah.
Absolutely superb.
Yeah.
And we've had some great guests on this evening. I mean, this evening, everybody has been doing something for their community. Don't forget, everybody, there's a few time limits here. You've got to get some Easter eggs over to Palliser Park Centre for the Youth Project North East. You've got to get some Easter eggs to the different centres that the White Feather Project. And you've definitely got to help the fundraising for Middlesbrough Amateur Swimming Club. They're up against it. You've got a massive day, and if they can get that last bit of money, £10,000 will be heading the way of Middlesbrough Amateur Swimming Club. So, please, I know you're fantastic out there. I know times are tough, but, just put that little bit of effort in after the show, and people will benefit in our community.
Well, and also as well, Martin, is that I have actually been messaging Dean Moore, because obviously we wanted to know if Butch was Dean's mate. And
we know he is.
No, from Idaho. And he, by the sounds of it, Butch was a genuine listener in Idaho. I just, I like to.
You will listen to Dean Moore telling his tales for hours on end.
He's actually just said, honestly, it wasn't him. So we would like to say hello to anybody internationally.
Have you heard of the story of Peter and the boy who cried wolf? Have you heard that story?
Dean's honest.
Dean's honest. All right, okay.
Oh, by the way, Idris has now come on and said the American chap kept calling the WhatsApp number. So he was obviously keen to get hold of the community show. Obviously, he must think we're carrying the community. We are, but we will be going to. But the problem is at the moment,
if Idris has been on, Idris is keen for us to get out and about in the community. Does that include Idaho?
Unfortunately, we are a community radio station that we are funded, and we're really lucky. And the thing is that a lot of the time, that the funds are coming from other people as well. So so to just keep this going, and to be honest, if it wasn't for Idris, I don't think we'd have this radio station as well.
And we wouldn't be hearing all the fantastic stories about this wonderful community.
I know, and the other thing as well is that because today we were also going to talk about. You actually had a whole load of stuff to talk about, and I've lost it, Martin.
I think I have as well. I've lost the census. Remind everybody, you have to fill in your census on Sunday. It's online. It's important that you do so because it informs planning for the next couple of years. So if you haven't done it already, get online on Sunday and fill in your census return. Now, and the census returns are fantastic. Yeah. Let me just tell you something. They ask you details about all sorts of things, and over the years it's changed. It's been running since 1801. In 1801, the government wanted to find out how many able men they had to fight the Napoleonic Wars. So that was the reason they did the first census. But it changed over the years, and in 1911, the lady fighting for women's suffrage, the Women's Freedom League, destroyed or amended the census forms. Alice Schofield Coates, who lived in Middlesbrough, wrote on her form, no census, no vote. No vote, no census. So there have been things over the years. In 2001, and they asked you what religion you are in the census, okay? Now, Christian came first, Islam comes second. Have a guess what came fourth in 2001?
I don't
know. Followers of the Jedi Knight in Star Wars.
Fantastic.
Something like, I think it was 390,000 people said they were followers of a Jedi Knight. But 10 years later, only half that number were followers. It dropped. So, all sorts of things take place. But the important thing is, the census informed government planning. If you want schools, if you want roads, if you want everything else, you've got to put that information in there. And it might be the last census that ever take place because they're looking at capturing the information another way in future. Sunday, sit down at your computer. You can do it on paper as well, and you can get people to help you fill it in. The White Feather Project, they were saying earlier, I know that they're happy to help people fill in their census return.
And also as well is that there is, when you get your letter come through, have a look at the pink as well, the purple leaflet, and it does say that there is a free language helpline. There's also large print formats are available. Information is also available in Braille, and the British Sign Language support is available online as well. So, and if you don't fill it out, they will be coming to your house in, I think it's April or May. But the only reason they're would be coming to you is to help you fill it out. So let's everybody try and fill it out this weekend. We know we all have to fill it out this weekend, wherever you are, and because that information is important.
And let me just say, Anne, I've just remembered another thing from history which might inform how I fill it in. In 1911, there was somebody in Dulwich in East London who recorded on the census form Roger. Roger was a dog, and they put down Roger's occupation as the watchdog. His job was to keep people away. And in the same year, somebody in Birkenhead near Liverpool filled out the form with Tom. Tom, have a guess what Tom was?
A cat.
Correct. And his occupation was mouse catcher. So, Inca might appear on my census form, I've just decided.
Important. And now it's this Sunday, everybody, Sunday the 21st of March. And on another note, if you are 50 plus and you are now entitled to get your COVID vaccination, do get yourself onto the government website, because you can actually go and book a vaccination at one of the centres. Don't be put off if you
No.
can't get straight in straight away. Just keep trying online, because seriously, I think they've been inundated, and I have managed. I tried first thing this morning, and it kept coming up. Oh, they also had Middlesbrough that came up as well, which was fantastic to see. The centre, yeah, that the mayor was really pushing for, and well done there, because that's really important. But there's Darlington, there's places in Darlington, there's Washington, there's Durham, there's Bishop Auckland, Saltburn.
Do keep trying, because I know, and I know you experienced it. One of my friends this morning wanted to go and get it done, and was upset because it said they had to go to Newcastle. And everybody said to her on Facebook, try again. She tried again, she didn't give up, and she got a slot in Darlington, which is very convenient for her. So, please do not give up. The system is working.
And also as well is that if you are over 50, you don't have to wait for your doctors to send you the letter, because that's what I thought you had to do. So, and also as well as Lee Garvey has said, and ask your GP too, which is good. But because at the moment you can just go and book it online, if you can get a slot online, it will save that time at your GP as well. Because I'm trying to get hold of the GP.
Don't, whatever you do, be put off by this thing that's been circulating around about blood clots and everything. Because all the advice, all the information, I look at things very simply. People who get deep vein thrombosis, blood clot. If you are obese and go on an aeroplane for 4 hours, you've got something like 100 times, it's 1,000 times greater chance of getting a blood clot that way than you have of taking a vaccination. That's a fact.
Where's that come from, Martin? Because we that's quite a big thing to say.
Okay. We went on to the government advisor site via the Guardian newspaper, had an article about pros and cons. Went on to there, and I see how I read this. People are now looking forward and they're booking holidays. You've got a better chance of going on holiday and getting it than you have of getting a vaccination. Boom. There's no contest in my book. Get that vaccination.
Yeah, and he's had Councillor Lee Garvey, he's had his vaccination. He was poorly overnight, but nothing else. And also as well is that we want you to talk about the vaccination with friends, if you've got friends in the BME community, because that's the community that hasn't taken up the vaccination as everybody would like. So please talk about it. Please, it's going to make a difference for everybody.
Get this, get it all out and about again. It will make such a difference. So please.
Yeah, and I've been speaking when I because I walk my little dog, and if I see somebody who's elderly, I'll say to them, have you had your vaccination? And I'm not joking, you should see their faces. They light up, they smile, and there's just like this real happiness that they've had their vaccination. So please chat about it. My next door neighbour said she's glad I've got mine booked. So I love mine. Can I just say, I wouldn't have known about this if it hadn't been for Christine mentioning it to me this morning. And so I'd like to thank my neighbour. My next door neighbour, we think she wears a halo. My mother does think she wears a halo. She was so kind to me the other week, because I was really, lockdown number 3 has been really difficult, and I've been quite low. And she came round and brought me a Sunday lunch. And do you know something? I really felt as though you've got somebody there who cares about you. And she's lovely.
Yeah, and that's what we've been hearing about on this program. Whether it was from Heather or whether it was from Mark, it's those little things of people reaching out to people and just touching them and saying, "Hey, I'm here."
Yeah. Now, next week, we're hoping to get Ashley on the show. So that'll be really nice. I know we've been trying to get Ashley on for the last couple of weeks. So, and it's been my fault that he hasn't been on the airways, everybody. So it hasn't been Ashley's fault. It's been my fault. So, do we have any other guests planned? We might have Butch back.
I have no idea. We might be broadcasting from Idaho. You never know.
Well, we're certainly going to be broadcasting in some shape or form from Idaho, aren't we?
The one thing, listeners, that you can guarantee, we may not know what's happening next week, but something will be happening. And if you want to know what happened, you're going to have to tune in.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for listening. We really do appreciate you listening, and it's nice to know that we're not just talking to ourselves as well, because we get feedback. Anyway, what are you up to? I'm having my vaccination on Saturday morning. I'm like, oh, excited about that. Anything else? Anything you're doing, Martin?
Not too at the moment. I'm continuing to train for a marathon, so that'll keep me busy. Oh yes, and yes, you're signed up for the half marathon, and that's where we'll be broadcasting from. Come 12th of September, we will be on the start line for the Great North Run.
Yeah, well, I'll need to find out your timing, so at least we're actually.
If there's anybody out there looking for a place at the Great North Run, I have places available, charity places for Hearing Dogs for the Deaf.
And that is really important, because we know that Hearing Dogs for the Deaf has made a huge difference for you, hasn't it, Martin?
Massive.
So it really has. So
and we started with mentioning that Inca had his haircut, and we'll end on that note. Inca's had his haircut.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.